When the trailer hit, everybody thought this looks so freaking stupid. It looks so dumb. When I saw the trailer, I was like, you know what? It kind of interests me. I mean, I knew it wasn't going to be a straight horror film. I knew there was going to be a little bit of fun comedy in there. I mean, you have Adam Scott in here, for God's sakes. But I gave it a chance. I watched it tonight. And welcome to the spoiler review. Welcome to Think About It reviews of Krampus. Now, Krampus is directed by Michael Dougherty, starring Adam Scott, Toni Collette, David Koehner, Cachette Farrell. I mean, there's a lot of people. And Adam Scott plays Tom. Toni Collette plays Sarah, and Imajo MJ, I think it was MJ Anthony plays Max. Well, whatever. Who gives a rat's ass? So this is gonna be a spoiler review. I'm gonna bounce around here and there, but what you need to know is Krampus. What is Krampus? Krampus is basically the other half of Mr. Saint Nick himself, Santa Claus. Now, Santa Claus gives presents, brings joy, Merry Christmas to everybody. While Krampus terrorizes you. He takes children. He doesn't give presents, he takes them away. I mean, Krampus is like, he's a dick, man. This guy's a dick. And how this movie starts off is basically, of course, family gets together for the holidays. You have Max's family with his dad, his mom, his sister. You have Uncle son of a bitch over there, Uncle Howard, who's played by David Koehner, and you know that guy is annoying. Whammy is annoying, all right? Well, anyway, so you have, of course, his uncle with his family. His kids come, and nobody's getting along. They're teasing him. He wishes that Christmas could go back like it used to be. He just absolutely hates everybody at this point because of some of the things that happened in this film. And, of course, the way it starts off with reading his letter and kind of embarrassing him, because he makes a letter. He makes a letter to Santa, and it just really talks about how he wants his mom and dad to fall in love over again. He wants to spend time with his sister. He even wants his uncle and aunt to actually be okay, and even though they don't have much, to really help them out, pretty much looking down upon them. So, and he says, why don't you have his twin girls actually be boys, because it seems like he wants them to be boys. So that's really basically the gist of this film. So the main point, like, does Krampus look great? Is it scary? Is it funny? And somewhat, I don't find it scary at all. It's not scary. It's not even. Uses the same tropes. It uses the same maneuvers, jump scares, but it's not scary. But is it funny? And I think it is. It is funny, especially that first act of the film. Very funny. The dialogue, very funny. The chemistry with the family, great. But once we start to get into the Krampus stuff, I think it loses its way. I think it's not as funny as I wanted the whole film to be. I think it's funny, little parts here and there in the second act and the third act, but in the first act it's more funny, and that's what I wanted this to play out more a little bit. I wanted to continue that way. I wanted the dialogue to be funny. I didn't want it to be goofy situations. I wanted the dialogue to continue to be funny, and there was great dialogue in here. There was really funny dialogue, but this film stops. This film stops in some places where it's just out of place, the tone's not right, or it just doesn't work. First of all, the score. I always look, when I go into watching a film, I always look at the score. And the score in this film is not bad. It's not bad. There's some good scores, tracks in here, but then some of the earlier tracks that they have in here just doesn't fit the tone, doesn't fit the mood that they're really going for. I honestly would have rather had them use original classic Christmas songs than having some of the score in the very beginning, but it gets better along the way, which is great. I want to say it's whimsical. It just doesn't fit the mood or fit the tone that it's trying to set in this film. Let's talk about the acting real quick. Adam Scott is actually really good in this film. Actually, though, everybody's good in this film, even the fucking little kids. Like, I can't stand kids in films, but I thought the kids were great. I thought Max was great. I thought even Howie's kids were great. Sure, it's your stereotypical family who can't get along. They have problems. They always fight. The uncle who's in your face is like kind of a redneck, so to speak. But you know what? It works. The family works, especially the grandma. The grandma works. Max's grandma really works. I really liked her and her backstory when she actually met Krampus. It's funny how she never like brings that up, but you know how she met Krampus a long time ago. They took away her family, and he left her, and it's happening all over again, so to speak. You know, it's happening because what Max did. Max ripped up the letter, let it fly away. Krampus heard his call, and he said, you know, little fucker, I'll take care of your family, and you better watch out because I might take care of you. But honestly, I thought the acting was great. I thought the chemistry was great. I thought Adam Scott and David Corner really meshed well together, and I thought all the family, like Howard's wife, Linda, played by Allison Tolman, Allison Tolman, she was really good. I thought she was great as well. And of course, Toni Collette was really good as well. So I thought everything meshed well. I thought the chemistry was there. And I thought even though it's a stereotypical family, a stereotypical situation, it still worked. It really worked because the humor worked, and it was all very well done. Even Beth was the sister, the other aunt. I think it's Omi, or maybe it's not Omi. The other aunt who's from 2.5 Men. She was really great as well. She likes playing those characters. She's always cast as this character. Excuse me, who just tells you like it is, says some foul-mouthed shit, and that's her character. But she worked in this film. She was actually really great in this film. So the things that don't work is when, like I said, Krampus works. I really liked the sound mixing in here. I really liked how Krampus, when Beth was out going to her boyfriend's, and you see Krampus jumping from one roof to the other, and I really loved the sound mixing in here. I thought the sound mixing was great, except this one part, but I thought the sound mixing was great. I thought Krampus really felt like he really was cool. Krampus was really cool, and when he was jumping from rooftop to rooftop, I really liked some of the creatures in here that they designed was really cool. Great idea, but those fucking gingerbread, those fucking gingerbread cookies, when they are introduced, when that one cookie is introduced, and he takes Howie Jr. Howie Jr. was funny too, his facial expressions. But when Krampus takes Howie Jr. and that gingerbread cookie's right there, and how CGI it is, and just everything about it, like that, the film stops. It's like, oh my god, it looks horrible. It's horrible. The gingerbread men are just, I mean, I get it. Cookies, yeah, whatever. I would have taken them out of the film, honestly. They just didn't work. I absolutely did not enjoy that aspect of what they brought to the table in this film. The gingerbread cookies did not work. Another thing that didn't work was the sound mixing in this one particular part, and that's when the aunt, who was from 2.5 Men, gets fucking taken, and you get that whoop, sound, that sound effect. I was like, why would you put that in this film? What did work with some of the creatures was the Jack in the Box little toy. I really liked that creature. I thought it was great, and it was crazy how it started off small, and you don't even see that one part in the trailer. From the trailer, you don't see it, but I liked how it started small, and then it got huge because it ate a couple children already. So I thought that toy was pretty cool. I liked the sound effect it made. I liked the look it had. I thought it was cool. I thought it was great. And I loved how it was clapping when all the little elves came. I thought that was great. I thought that was a great little scene. I thought the direction was actually well done in here. I thought the look of the film was great. I thought the production design was really well done. I thought this film looked great. Everything looked great. Everything sounded great. Everything, the execution sometimes was great, but sometimes wasn't. Another humorous moment was the bear. The bear wasn't my cup of tea. I thought they could have got a better, scarier kind of bear. The angel was kind of very comical. A lot of people were laughing. I don't know if that was a good thing or a bad thing. For me, it was, I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it. So overall, it did lag in some parts. I know they was trying to build tension, but I think you could have had a little bit more of not action-packed moments, but a little bit more moments with these creatures and what I think you could have done a lot more with them, and especially the elves. I think the elves coming at the end, they were cool looking, but I think I would have liked them a little bit earlier, and or at least them be established a little bit earlier. I just thought the elves could have been just established a little bit earlier, but they were cool looking. I really did like that. Now, I think you're gonna love it or kind of hate it. I'm like neutral about it. I don't know if I really like it, if I really, with the choice they made. But when the grandma is telling the story about Krampus and her story about Krampus, they do stop motion sort of animation, it's sort of stop motion. It's not like, it's kind of like Caroline animation, but it's not yet Nightmare Before Christmas animation. Maybe it was a little nod to Nightmare Before Christmas. I don't know. Does it work? Kind of. It kind of works, but then it kind of like, when she's telling the story, it kind of like, it doesn't really fit this kind of film. Honestly, it's kind of not out of nowhere, but it's out of place, so to speak. But yeah, I kind of did like it. I did like a little bit of, I like the aspect of that animation, and they made it a little bit creepy, and it kind of made me like wonder, like, damn, maybe they should have made this whole movie into that type of stop motion animation. That would have been really cool, because some of the things they do in that particular reminisce scene, I really did like. I really dug it. So it was very interesting when they did that. Overall, the Krampus he looked great. I thought he looked great. I was wondering, like, is his mouth super open? And it is. It's really open wide, and he looks like Santa Claus, but a deformed, demonic Santa Claus. He has these horns. He has these hooves. He was great. I thought he looked great. I thought some of the monsters looked great. So along the film, along the way, one by one, people are getting picked off, especially towards the end, where it's just Max left, and then Max comes back and says, I want my family back to Krampus. Krampus was going to leave his ass there. He's going to leave him alone. He's like, you got your wish, bye, bitch. But he comes back and he confronts Krampus because they took one of his cousins. So I'm going to get to the ending in a moment, but along the way, when they're picking people apart, I think they should have picked, because Beth was the first one to go, which I thought was a pretty good scene. They don't show you when the jack-o'-lantern takes her or even eats her. It would have been crazy if they did. But I think I would have liked people being picked apart a little bit earlier, at least a couple people here and there. I think it just lagged a little bit. I think they kind of dragged out some of these moments, but all in all, it's only an hour and a half movie, I think. I mean, I got out early. I was like, maybe I'm just tired or something like that, but I just think some parts could have been just oomphed a little bit, just have that little something early on instead of waiting to the very end, which is great. Like, they're trying to set up the intensify the moments towards the end, but I just feel like in a movie like this, it felt like it just needed to be a little bit sooner rather than later. So let's talk about that ending. The ending. So Max comes back, goes to Krampus, says, I just want my family back, take me instead. You think Krampus is like, here's his wish, and you think he's going to give, make everything set right. I was like, I don't want that to happen. This is supposed to be still somewhat of a horror film. This is his doing. I don't want that to happen. And I love how Krampus just laughs. All the elves laughs, grabs him by the head, and throws him into what seems like hell. And that shot where he's falling into hell was really badly made. It kind of reminded me of This Is the End. You could tell it's a green screen, so I didn't really necessarily like that part. But, Max wakes up, falls out of his bed, goes downstairs. Everybody's having Christmas. Everybody's unwrapping all the presents. You think all is well. Maybe Krampus has a heart and did reset everything. Maybe it was just a dream. But I could tell. I knew. I was like, look at the way everything is. It feels too dreamy. So either he's dead and they're in heaven or something like that. And when he got the gift, I was like, that's the bell. That's the bell to remind him, Krampus is still here. So then we see him grab the bell. We see everybody's shocked look, or somewhat shocked look. Like, everybody just like, damn, it was real. I didn't want to believe it. I think everybody had the same idea as Max, and then they're like, yeah, Krampus is It was all real. And then you see the shot just go outside, and they're in a snow globe. They're in Krampus's snow globe with many other snow globes, and Krampus. The ending reminded me a lot of Jeepers Creepers, the first one. So I like the ending. I really did like the ending. I liked how it ended. I like how there's not a happy. It's somewhat of a happy ending, but yet not a happy ending. I thought it was great. I thought the ending was great. So overall, Krampus, did I really like it? Not necessarily. I think it was an okay film. I think there was a lot of moments where I laughed, and it wasn't, even though it's trying to be funny, it was moments that I shouldn't have laughed at, or it's just things that it had potential to really become something more than what it is. A lot of the execution, especially with the Krampus's minions, did not necessarily work. It did lag a little bit, even though it's a short film. It felt long overall, but you got to give it to the direction. You got to give it to the look of it. You got to give it to the sound mixing. You got to give it to somewhat of the score, like half of the score at least. The acting, I thought, was well done. So there's a lot of things to like about Krampus, but by all means, I think people are going to watch this, and this is where you get a mixed bag of things. People are either going to go along with it and really enjoy the ride, or at least somewhat enjoy the ride, or they're not going to go along with it and feel like a lot of people that I met saying, this is so stupid, it was dumb, don't watch it, this and that. I'm one of the people that went along with it, even though how ridiculous it was. The gingerbread men were probably the worst part of the film, but I did appreciate a lot of the other aspects that were into the film that were well done. So I went along with it, and I somewhat enjoyed it. I still think there was a lot of the problems kind of outweighed a lot of the good, but it was an okay film. I felt like it was an okay film, and if you ask me, I don't recommend you spending your hard-earned $11.50 on a full-price movie. I don't even think I really recommend you spending it on a matinee. I really recommend you watching this when it comes out on Netflix or Redbox. Redbox that shit. But overall, I don't recommend you check this out in the movie theaters. I tell you to just wait till it comes on DVD, Redbox, Netflix, and I think you'll enjoy it a little bit more because you didn't pay that shit. So that's my review on Krampus. I want to thank you guys for listening. You can always hit that subscribe button for more. Like the video if you like it, and comment below. And like I always say, guys, grab a tick, grab a seat. Make sure you got some good popcorn to eat. I'll see you at the cinema.